Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Just open a beverage of your choice because today is another episode of Frightful Fridays. And this week's movie would be the 2024 movie called Werewolves. Now, I had heard of this movie and I didn't even realize that it had been out in the theater. But I found it on, I think it was Amazon, and I decided to watch it. It has a really kind of an interesting concept in which 1 year on the super moon, which is the time when the full moon is closest to the Earth, so it looks really big, hence supermoon. It unleashed it let loose some dormant thing inside people, caused a shitload of people to become werewolves. And now it is a year later, and it is time for a supermoon again, and so people are preparing it. So it focuses on a small group of people. There is the central character of, and let me see, main characters of Wesley and Amy. Wesley is played by Frank Grillo, who is an or actually I think he's a current, or maybe Army scientist or doctor, and a woman by the name of Amy. She is a scientist, and they've been trying to figure out a cure for this. So, when it happens again, it can save millions of lives. And then, you've got Frank. He's got his sister-in-law and niece back home at a place hiding out, because at this point everyone is hiding or locking up in their houses to stay out of the moonlight, because you have to be in direct moonlight for it to affect you if you are infected. And then they're also staying away from the people who turn it. So you have Lou Diamond Phillips as like the mayor or something, and so it's night of the full moon, and they have this thing called moon screen. Of course, just a basic derivative, like sunscreen, but moon screen, and they're testing it on people that they know would turn, to keep them from turning. And of course, the moon comes out, and all the people out there who had turned before turn, and so there's and so you have Amy and Frank, who are now trying to escape the lab and get away and then get to his family. Now, it's a really interesting concept because it's like regular people against all these werewolves, and it's kind of a wasted opportunity for a couple of reasons. One, it's low budget, and you can tell, but they do make the kind of good use of the money, and as long as you understand that they accept that it's low budget, they kind of revel in it, and they expect, they're like, okay, this is low budget, just deal with it, go with it. And if you do that, that's fine. You can sort of see they're werewolves. There are people in suits, and there are limitations on what they can do. but the problem was that they had a really good idea, but they didn't carry it out very well. Excuse me. I mean, even with the werewolves not being best designed in the world, and their characterization, the characters aren't that very well done, which, of course, in a movie like this, I guess they're really not supposed to, but there are, with the budget, there are limits in what they can do, so they cut away from things. But there are certain things that you wish that they could have done. Like, you have all these werewolves, and when there's packs, if you know anything about wolves, and I guess they're trying to make them a little bit like wolves. There's going to be ones for dominance, but you get them. Some of them are actually starting to work together like humans would, but not one of them are sitting there saying trying to be the alpha. And you also have some of the wolves. They're doing things. It seems like they're smart because one of them's trying to, there's like a barricade at this house, and they figure out, oh look, this fence is electrified, so they're trying to, use a body to keep the fence from electrifying them, or they climb a pole to do it. And it's like, so are these things smart or are they not? And then you have things like these actual supposedly military guys who are with automatic weapons. And I was in the military. I wasn't trained with weapons, but one thing you aren't going to do is if you have a fully automatic weapon and you have a target, you aren't just going to sit there and start spraying when you're needing to, you want to try and limit the amount of ammo you use and conserve ammo and try and just, get the target. You don't just spray at something when it's coming at you. And they have, the actual military people doing that, and then they have some looks like just paramilitary people outside doing it. It's like, dude, don't shoot like an idiot. Just, dude, no. And so there's some just kind of dumb things, and you have another character out there they've got like the wolves outside, and they're yelling at the wolves like, "Oh, don't you come in here, or I'm gonna shoot you." It's fucking what? It's an animal, dude. It's not gonna be able to figure it out. So it's kind of a low budget thing, but it's not a smart low budget thing, if you understand what I'm saying. You can have something that's really low budget and written smartly or done well. And then there's stuff like this, where, they have the concept and they go with it, but they just didn't think it through. And then there's this couple things at the end where you're just like, dude, seriously? So I didn't hate it. I didn't dislike it. I kind of enjoyed it for what it was, but there was enough of an issue of it that I'm not going to sit there and say it was great or really good. So I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5 and just say, yeah. And then if you see it, you can watch it for free. Watch it. Don't buy it like I did. It's a fun waste your afternoon type thing, but no, just watch it if you feel like it. But it's not something you should go out of the way and watch. Or if you have a choice between that and something that you think is better, watch something that's better. I mean, the acting is halfway decent, and it looks decent in certain spots when they have the chance, but put all together, no, it's just like a 2.5. But anyway, let me know if you saw it and what you thought of it. Like, subscribe, and possibly share it. Most of all, try and enjoy your horror movies.